I'm an aircraft maintenance supervisor with United Airlines. So I work in a hangar and I work in a heavy check environment. The type of projects that we usually work on, ours are usually scheduled. So we have our assignments every day, every shift. My role as a supervisor is to make sure that those assignments get handed out to the right groups and get addressed properly. So we have 4 different classifications, and each classification has like a specific assignment. So we have like interior people, we have avionics, we have sheet metal, and we have A&Ps. And so part of the check, different phases of the check or portions of the check, they have jobs for each of those classifications. So we work with our production controller and we decide what jobs we're going to work that day, what classifications will work those jobs, and then we put those jobs out to our leads, who in turn put those out to our technicians. Everybody in our facility has to have an A&P, so they have to have their airframe and power plant certification. We kind of separate them into groups because it pertains to different types of jobs. So we have A&P, which is general. They do a lot of the outside work, a lot of the rigging, gear changes. So they primarily handle those aspects of maintenance. So avionics handles any wiring modifications that we have for a specific aircraft that we have in check. And sheet metal, they handle all the sheet metal work, and we do have a composite classification. So they do composite repairs. And then we have our interior group. The interior group takes everything on the inside, they take everything out, they refurbish everything and put everything back in the airplane. I got it started on the A&P path the non-traditional way. Obviously, I graduated from high school quite a few years ago, so that really wasn't an option given to me. Mine resulted from a move from Michigan to Florida, and I needed a way to be able to go back to Michigan to visit my parents, because my parents didn't move. I got a job with Piedmont, so I worked part-time on the ramp. I then went to customer service, and then I worked as a cleaner. And then in 1988, when US Air and Piedmont merged, they brought maintenance into our station. Now, as a child, as a teenager, I always worked on my own car because my father, that was important to him that we knew how to maintain our own cars. So when I got to meet some of the technicians that were at our station, they would let me work with them, and they were like, "Laura, you can do this." So they actually are the ones that were very instrumental in getting me into Embry-Riddle. I think to attend A&P school, and they have different curriculums, so we have different schools in our area, and they can be anywhere from 15 months to 18 months, 24 months if you want to get your associate's degree. If you want to be aircraft maintenance, you do need to have your A&P certification. Any degree that you get above and beyond that would help you in your future if you wanted to move into management. 15 months and you will study the general portion. Then they have one that's dedicated to airframe and then one that's dedicated to power plant. So they each have different hour requirements, and then at the end you'll test. So once you pass a general test, an airframe and a power plant, and you successfully pass those, then you'll get your A&P certification. So I guess the biggest thing that I got out of it, if you really want something bad enough, that you'll do it. And I think that's why Girls in Aviation Day is so important to me, because I want these girls to know what options are available to them out of high school. The advice that I would have for young girls is obviously contact their Women in Aviation if they have a local chapter, or contact the international. And with the networking, they can absolutely put them in contact with somebody who's either in that career field, teaches that career field, knows somebody in that career field. Give them ideas like what type of schooling they would need to attend, how many hours they would need to attend. Some of the local organizations like EAA that they could get involved with to build hours. So it's a great networking organization.